He's here, everybody. Look at him, smiling ear to ear. And why wouldn't you be smiling after that weekend series? Ryan Rowland-Smith with us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. How are you, man?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, hey, first of all, San Diego, what a city. I mean, I love that place. Got married down there. Love it. So
nice.
sad to leave. I mean.
No, I saw when he started, and he's got this look on his face. I'm going, he's got something.
He's got material ready to fire.
Yeah, he's got something. And it's usually directed at me, so I've just go ahead and get it out of the way.
I got nothing. For
you know what? I thought you were going to be wearing those Rivas sunglasses. You were talking about those a lot on the broadcast. I fully expected you to show up with those suckers on.
I know, and I got down to the clubhouse today because I was like, I'm trying to get some good rapport with some of these guys, especially Rivas. I love watching the dude play. And I was like, do I go up to him and say, hey, can I just take a look at him? Can I try him on in the mirror? But I was like, I'm not quite there yet. But no, that was sweet. I mean, do you agree or not? Like, I don't know if I can pull him off, but he could. He looked sweet, especially when he's diving in the hole to make that play.
Great defensive plays out of him, man. How surprised were you? Dave and I were talking to open the show, and I was saying, looking at the 10-game road trip, I'm going, all right, go 5-5. You want to go 5-5. That's your kind of your goal. Split it. And that was with the assumption that they'd take one of three from the Padres. I'm going, man, you're going into San Diego with your two young guys going against that offense on their home field, one of the best home teams in all of baseball, one of the best offenses in baseball. I was thinking one there, two in Chicago, split with the Astros, and I'd be happy. Now I'm going, you got to get 7 out of 10 because you just swept I mean, to hold that team to 3 total runs. This is the most complete performance of the season, was it not?
Oh, 100%. And, first of all, and let's not forget, too, you talk about the road trip, and it's a long one, 3 cities, and going to San Diego, how good that team is. But coming off that homestand, too, where you started to see not some of the holes, but some of the the trends and patterns that we saw a year ago, where the swing and miss started to come through, and late in games you weren't getting the same luck. Late in games didn't have the same production. The one win you got at home against the Yankees. It took you 11 innings to scratch across the second run. So with all that being said, you head down to San Diego, and I was with you too. I was like, man, okay, if you can just scratch a game here, because you got Michael King that last game, so you got to take care of one of the. But man, I'm telling you, I didn't. Obviously, we had an Apple game that first game, so I still went to the game just to sort of prep and pay attention because I'm a professional.
That's right.
No, but I went over to the game and just watching Logan Evans and just watching that. His demeanor against that lineup. I mean, he took care of I think the key with first of all, Logan Evans that first night, the young guy who, it's been a little sort of mixed bag at what you expect the first couple starts, but just taking care when he's on the ropes of Manny Machado and Jackson Merrill. And I know Jackson Merrill has hit a bit of a slump since he came off the IL and was blazing, and then all of a sudden, he's been scuffling a little bit, but man, just taking care of those two hitters in the middle of that lineup on the attack. And then Emerson Hancock, I know he didn't go deep in that game, and Dan Wilson not messing around going to Gabe Spire, that huge at bat. I mean, I was it was so good. Gabe Spire, I wanted to tell him again today, but I'm like, I think he's sick of me bringing it up, against Jackson Merrill, just blowing doors off up and in. With loaded bases. So just those little things, and just the starting pitching overall. I mean, first of all, the last time through the rotation, going back even in the Yankee series, 23 punch-outs, only 3 walks. Only had 2 walks in his last 3 games against a really, really tough offense with the Padres. And then you walk away. And then, by the way, you got Michael King that last game. And you got Mitch Garver hitting doubles, push him out of the game. Unreal. It was just a team win. It was awesome.
Hey, you got guys like you're talking about Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock, and I was just looking at the offensive numbers because last year they were number 1 in pitching in 6, 7, 8 different categories, but the offense, the numbers, all we wanted was like, hey, if we can just be middling with the offense. Now it's kind of switched a little bit. You've got some top 10 categories as far as offense goes, but as far as are you expecting, I'm expecting really good things. Like, I'm expecting Miller to come back and be who he is. Same thing with Kirby and Logan. Is that maybe unfair? I mean, I'm not saying they're going to come back like the first outing and, be who they were last year, be the George Kirby of 2024. But I don't know. How long do you think that'll take before they sort of get that rotation intact?
I think going back a week or so, and obviously, when Logan Gilbert hit the IL, I was like, oh, man, we're in trouble here. Because, again, George Kirby, you don't quite know how long is this going to get pushed out, especially coming back from a shoulder. And then Bryce Miller at that point was struggling, and then they ended up giving him a breather, putting him on the IL. I know he's got some elbow issues and whatnot, but you're sitting there going, okay, can they keep up this offense to sort of hold the fort down? Because you won't get much at all in regards to starting pitching. And right now, starting ERA, they're like 16th. Last year, they were first in every category you could think of. Yeah. And so you're looking at that going, okay, if we can somehow get to a place where the second half, maybe you bring some exterior help in, even on the pitching side. But the way it's looking now, George Kirby threw a bullpen today and just letting it eat here in Chicago. And he's going to be coming back very soon. And hopefully this road trip, I don't know if that's the case. But then, and I just think he's going to be, and just to answer your question, how long it'll take, I don't think it's going to take long for him at all, man. I just feel like he is just chomping at the bit and so hungry to, make up for lost time in a good way. And then I think with Logan Gilbert, just watching, he's been throwing bullpens. He's not far off either. So if you get those two back, and look, Bryce, I think if he can take a breath here and have some of his buddies back in the rotation, I keep saying, I've said this to you guys, I think in the last couple of weeks since joining your show, this team, when it's all said and done, we will be talking about the rotation carrying this team. Offensively, man, you've got some, from a team standpoint, don't have to be like they have been, like, top 5 in some categories. Just get a couple guys around the lineup and then the supporting cast. In other words, Julio Rodriguez has cut that chase rate down like crazy. Cal just continues. He's on pace to hit like 54 home runs. I know he's going to keep that pace, but man, like he's just such a threat in the middle of the lineup. Randy Rosarina, we're not talking about enough. So you've got these elements offensively which can carry this team, but I still feel like when it's all said and done, you're going to still look back and go, man, this is very similar to 2024 once we get into late July, August, and September with this rotation.
Sweet.
We were talking about Bryan Woo, and you and I talked a bunch, obviously on air, off the air, going into the season. Logan, I think, was the consensus. Number one, he should be the opening day starter. He's the best pitcher. He's your ace. And I kept saying Woo was so electric last year, man. I might put him at number 2. Now I'm looking at him going,
you did say that. And by the way, you were so high on him. I was like, oh, no, not quite. Yeah, but no, I'll give that to you for sure.
Well, and it's not even about that so much as now I'm going, when everybody's healthy, see, number 1? I mean, his stuff is so ridiculous, and he's got the command of Kirby. He doesn't walk guys, and he's the only pitcher in baseball that's given you 6+ in every start this year. He's electric. He just needs to prove he can do it for a whole season and be healthy.
He's electric, man. And you look at him, and usually when you have starter reliever, and I'll throw Matt Brash in. Now, look, Matt Brash, visually you can see, all right, he's nasty, and he's a guy that if you're playing against him and you got to face him in your third at bat or fourth at bat, you're like, oh, okay, I've got to protect against that one pitch. You look at Bryan Woo, and if you're facing him, you're like, okay, he's going to throw a ton of fastballs. And so you go into that at bat thinking, all right, I'm going to try and ambush and cheat a little bit on that fastball. The problem is that hitters have. And we saw this as he got better and better with this. The 2 different looks on the fastballs were ridiculous. Now, he didn't have his best 4-seam last time out. Matter of fact, he didn't really throw it in those big high leverage counts. But that, I'm telling you, man, he's 2-seamer, that sinker, the one he threw to Cronenworth, like his last pitch of the game, was ridiculous. It didn't even have to be like pinpoint. It didn't. You could see Mitch Garver trying to set up in to get it starting that front hip and come back out over the plate or up and in, up on the hands. Didn't even have to be that. So those 2 fastballs are just such a separator, I think, for Bryan Woo. And again, when you're pitching and you don't have to rely on having that good feel and perfection with that breaking ball or whatever it is, and you got 2 innings in, 30 pitches in, and you're trying to get that good feel for it. He doesn't really have to do that because, look, I'm not going to lie, a fastball is much easier to throw than a breaking ball or even a changeup. And so, man, in regards to knowing what you're going to get every day, if you're Pete Woodworth or the Mariners or us watching him as fans, you know what you're going to get. That 2-seamer, he just grips it and it just lets that thing run back out over the plate. It is nasty, but I'm telling you, man. Look, and the reason I was not so sold, Bob Stelton, like you were in regards to him being the guy, right, is just simply because, last year, he still hasn't had the 6 months yet. Like Bryce had already had the 6 months, obviously, April through September. So once he got that, and it looks like he's doing it, I mean, he's barely breaking a sweat. He threw like 9 pitches in 2 of those innings yesterday against the Padres. It's insane, man. He's on another level. It's awesome.
What do you see that they do differently, the Mariners, as far as the pitching staff goes? Is it more about coaching or unlocking guys, or is it about just the prospects? What is it?
Well, the foundation, you guys have heard this all the time. Andy McKay chatting to him, he goes, you have no idea how tough it is from the DR, Dominican, summer ball, all the way up to the big leagues. You have no idea. And I do know because I played, and I was super stubborn. Like, in telling pitchers, if you can get into good counts, you become a good above average pitcher, you become a really, really good pitcher. If you get to 1-0, 2-0, you're a really above average stuff and velo and spin and all this. That then turns into below average and it turns into hittable because there's hundreds of them in the minor leagues. And I'm sitting there listening, nodding my head. This is on the field in San Diego. And I'm sitting there thinking back like, I remember Cliff Lee telling me in 2010 when I was career was just getting derailed, and he kept saying, dude, get in better counts. You're always 1-0, 2-0 because you're trying to mess around. You just strike down the middle, just dump that breaking ball. He goes, you've got coaches telling you, your curveball's a little slower, and so you're losing trust in it. He goes, who cares if it's 75, 72? It doesn't matter. Just throw it in the strike zone. If you 0-1 with that pitch, guess what? Your chances of getting through that at bat unscathed and your margin of error just diminish. So that's number one, man. I can't say that enough. I know the Mariners preach that a ton, but watching everyone who gets a chance, if you want to get a chance in this organization to pitch in the big leagues, you have to be in good counts, straight up. I don't care if you throw 110, and it's pretty obvious. And again, Logan Evan's a classic example of that. A guy who, terrible career in college, right? He'll be the first to tell you that. And he went to all the pitching labs and tried to figure it out. And he's like, oh, hold on a minute. I'm watching George Kirby. I'm watching Logan Gilbert. Watching these guys with 2 pitches get inside the strike zone and all of a sudden they're 0-2 on everyone. Maybe they're onto something. There's that. And also, too, I talked about Bryan Woo with the 2 different fastballs. When you have 2 different looks from a fastball with plus velocity when you're talking 95 and up, from a hitter standpoint, you got to protect against something that moves and then something that's going to be up above the barrel. It just makes it that much tougher. So they're really good at unlocking 2 different types of fastballs, that's for sure, and just identifying what it is that you can do from a secondary pitch standpoint to be inside the strike zone to get you in good counts. Because you're going to have to throw more than just a fastball, obviously, to get you to 0-2.
Hey, one thing that stood out about Hancock, and I think you guys mentioned this on the broadcast, was the increased velocity. What do you? Yeah. I mean, we'd like to see him be more efficient. I mean, 4 2/3, you got to go longer than that. He only gave up the 1 run, which was great. But so the bullpen covers 4 1/3. They were great. But the one positive outside of limiting the damage was he's touching 98.
I know.
And I hadn't seen that from him.
And I'm guilty of this too. I was talking to Shannon the other night about this. Like, we talk about him like he throws 91 miles an hour. Like, the dude was touching 98. And look, it's a couple things on that. Number one, confidence goes up when you can throw a fastball, backspin a fastball, and guys just flat out miss it. Especially, like, I'll throw Cronenworth under the bus again, but he punched him out, and he gave all that emotion because he was backspinning the ball middle of the plate. And a guy who doesn't chase and can handle plus velocity. So your confidence goes up. That's number one. But number two, I think with Emerson Hancock, there is a couple different things. Obviously, you get to this point in your career, you're around different people, more so last couple of years, and you start to figure out your recovery. You start to figure out how to do it with adrenaline more and more and more. You start to identify when can I just unleash on those pitches. So, hey, man. Again, if he can get up there, stay up there 96, 97, have at it. I still feel like, man, that the sinking fastball and the changeup off those two pitches. Sometimes with that changeup, I was watching last time out, and he looked good. He just went a little shorter, that's for sure. But sometimes he's trying to be perfect with that changeup, I feel like, because you can see his arm slot. It looks like it goes down a little bit, and he's trying to dot that changeup where it's like, hey, man, just easy said and done, and don't take any advice from me, Emerson. But you feel like just like let it eat, man. Just throw the crap out of it down the middle and see what happens.
Hey, so I heard on the podcast today that you guys you and Brad like to go golfing.
That just goes to show, Dave, you didn't even watch the episode. I said I suck at golf. I admitted I'm terrible at golf. Brad's the golfer, dude. He's a stud.
How can you be a major league pitcher and not be good at golf?
Trust me. And I said this on the show. I said, as soon as I got to the States, everyone's got their golf clubs. I'm like, oh, man, I'm really bad at golf, and I barely play. But, dude, Brad's a stud, man. He's very good at golf. I'll give him that. And I will say, the show he's on, Fairways and Fastballs, I'm telling you, it's cool because, like, the only – I'm not saying I don't enjoy golf. I don't want to upset people. I like when I can hit the ball straight down the fairway. It rarely happens. But sitting on the golf cart, cruising around with teammates, some of the best memories. So that's when you can, unlock some of those stories. So I'm stoked he's got this show because that's when guys start to chat and open up about things when they're out comfortable on the golf course. So I'm looking forward to watching more of that. But no, hey, Dave, seriously, man, I don't know how you are at golf, but I rarely in public get out there and play because it's pretty embarrassing, let me tell you.
I like that you threw Dave under the bus. Obviously you didn't watch the episode.
But hey, on that
the part
note,
where you said
Dave,
you suck at golf, I heard that.
Yeah. No, listen, hey, I appreciate you bringing it up so I can plug the show for sure.
Yeah. Top step.
And that's right, the top step. I can plug it. But no, honestly, I rarely try and play in public because it's embarrassing. But if I'm with some close friends,
all right.
So Dave, hey, listen, I'm dropping hints here, mate. You want to go out and hit the links, as they say, apparently?
Let's get Bradham out there.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
I'll go out there with you, Ryan. I'm probably worse than you are. So I'll make you feel good about your game.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Hey, last one. I know we're up against the clock here, but just a quick thought. Biggest surprise out of the bullpen for you? For me, it's Legumina.
Yeah, 100%. Casey Legumina. I went and introduced myself to him officially today. So, Casey, how you doing, man? And it's one of those ones where people start talking to you when you get some high leverage and put some good stuff together. But, man, he has been so dominant lately, and I'm so happy for him, too. You saw that with Gabe Spire, going back to Seawald, Justin Topa. They're with these other organizations, don't get that chance. Come to the Mariners, and they just unlock what you're capable of doing. And that's Casey Legumina this year. He has been so good, man. So, yeah, he's biggest surprise. I'm really happy for him.
Ryan, you're doing a great job on the broadcast, man. Look forward to hearing you. Guys. Have fun out there in Chicago. Hopefully this the good vibes, the good feeling last through the rest of this road trip.
Sounds good. Hey, Dave, real quick, what was the thing I threw you under the bus about a couple of weeks ago during the game? What was that?
Oh, it was Logan's Walter White thing.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I was trying
to think of something funny to say
you
30 seconds ago, but we're out of time.
You didn't really throw me under the bus, but Goldie did.
Yeah.
He did. That's right. He threw you under the bus.
What's your level of confidence in your source? You said, I don't know, 50-50. He goes, I think it's lower. Turns out he was right.
That's right. That's right.
Ryan, we appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
There you go. There's Ryan Rowland-Smith with us each and every week. He's doing a great job on the broadcast. Love listening to Ryan. I could talk baseball with him all day, but does a great job on the broadcast.